Cafeteria Club.
Okay. All right.
That's it. So then once this is connected to that, then that's when this will start streaming. So now you get to see the behind the scenes of it. There we go. Okay, so this lags, so don't watch that. We only have it open so we could read what people are saying.
Right.
Alrighty. So
okay.
I don't know, have you done live streaming before?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay. It's not too different from the regular video. It's just if you say things incorrectly, you don't get to go back in time. That's the only problem.
well, that sounds like Zoom class.
Yes.
So.
Oh, geez. Are you having to do Zoom class too?
Oh, I was, but school year is over.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. I wonder how... It says there's like 2 people. It says there's 4 people. So we're not 100% sure who's here other than Shane and our good math pig who's been here for a hot minute. So is it... You like it?
Oh, yeah.
It's good. I got it off iHerb.
Oh.
I get everything off iHerb.
Okay.
I'll let you know what it is. So we were actually able to have a person on the stream, which is so exciting. So I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Well, sure. So hello everybody. You might have seen me kind of lurking in the comment section over the last couple of years, maybe. My name is Hamid. You can call me Leo. So I've been here for like, it's been over 10 years now.
Yes.
Well, in Asia, I'll say that. I've been in Asia for over 10 years.
For over 10 years, yeah.
Okay.
And that's basically it. Hello, Cynical. You know what? I had a weird migraine too. That's why the room is dark. And now, Hamid, you get to see how I backlight it with the background.
I always wondered why it was so dark. But
now you see. So it's dark in the background, and then I've got like this other window open with this white stuff. Now I did actually get a ring light. I haven't set it up, and I'm scared to use it when I have a migraine. So we'll see.
I think as long as you don't look directly at it, you should be okay. Hope, right? 'Cause I had to use that when I was doing the Korean classes a couple of years ago, because they were all virtual.
Yeah.
Panini and all. So, and the classes would still be long. I hated that, but I would just be sitting my back to the wall, and I have a ring light in front of me so that the teacher can see my face.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think it would work if I have like an eye patch over my migraine eye? That might work.
It would be an interesting, I guess, pirate look.
Yeah, that's it. We'll rock the pirate look. I did that once. I forget what happened. It was some kind of infection or a bee sting or something. I don't know. My eye has been the target of bees and things, but I had to have like this eye patch on, and my boss kept making fun of me. This was years ago. This was still back in the States. Yeah.
Oh wow.
For sure. So, if you guys want to ask, I know that you hate the cat scratching at the door.
I kind of forgot they were here. I was like, wait, what is that?
Krampus thinks he owns this room. So I thought if you guys wanted to ask any questions about Korea, about what we're dealing with Omicron, like how we're dealing with it, because I think a lot of other countries are opening up and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. We just got put on home. That's why I'm able to do this this live stream. And I think it's probably going to happen right after the Lunar New Year, So the government is not happy with how people are acting a fool. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we're doing a lot of online stuff, yeah. Let's see. Does the shoulder parrot go on the same side as the eye patch or the opposite side? For me, it would have to be the opposite side, because if I've got the eye patch on my migraine side, the migraine side gets very painful, so I would have to have it. I could also put Krampus here.
Oh gosh.
That's the other option. Oh, this is Obyung, the correct question, remember, and I'm sure you've gotten it a million times, is, which Korea, North or South? Yeah. How do you answer that question when you say that you're in Korea?
It's a little sarcastic, but I'm always just like, which one do you think? Which one is easier to get to?
Yeah, so. I always say, I'm using the internet. I'll give you one guess.
Yeah.
Are you guys breaking quarantine rules by being together right now? That's a great question. We are not.
Yeah.
We are not. Go ahead.
Currently, I think private gatherings up to 6 people are still allowed.
Yep, up to 6 people are still allowed in your house. And in my case, I just got my PCR test results this morning. I'm negative, so now you know.
And I got a booster yesterday.
Oh,
so,
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's good. How was it?
Like even with the first 2 shots, I got Pfizer, so I don't know if that makes a difference. The worst that happened to me was just I got really lethargic. Yesterday I felt fine, but we'll see what happens later on today when it's time to go back home.
That's true. That's true. I had my booster over like the winter break. So when the schools took a break for Christmas and so on,
Right.
I thought, this is a good time to get it. I also had Pfizer. I got more of a reaction than with my second shot, but it wasn't bad. It was just like constantly like, it's just stretching, like your muscles feel all gummed up.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I do feel like a little bit of swelling here, but like nothing more than any other shot that I've gotten.
Nothing
in the past,
crazy.
So.
Thank you, Shane. You say that you're not a narc, adjusts wire. Yeah, that's what this is. I'm just trying to hear what we got to say. The booster made me very tired the next 2 days. Is there any rule where you guys are at that if you get this vaccine, including the booster, do you guys get days off of work, like paid time off? I know that was a big issue in Korea where people could get paid time off for the vaccine, but not for the booster.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not sure about that either because, I mean, I'm on vacation, public school system. So, and I just moved all my vacation time to the end of my contract. So I've got nothing to do for like the next month and some change. So
What are you going to do besides play Pokemon Go?
That's pretty much all I'm going to do. Plus, like, Legends Arceus comes out this weekend.
Well, then that's what you took the break for. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had my booster last week. Just sore lymph nodes. That's what I had to go get surgically removed. Was some lymph nodes. Thankfully, it was just anemia and just immuno
deficiency.
Thank you. No, autoimmune disorder.
Oh.
Apparently, I have that.
Oh.
I had no idea it was anemic.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, the doctor was like, "Yeah, so your red blood cells are swollen. This is a sign of anemia." I'm like, how come nobody ever told me? And they mentioned you can do a bunch of supplements, but you should probably just start eating meat and stuff again. In addition to that, they said, the doctor was like, a vegan diet, people think it's really healthy, but for some people like you just can't do it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It was weird adding meat back. I didn't think it would be, because sometimes I would eat a little bit, but
it didn't make you feel like throwing up or anything,
it was the texture.
Oh.
Especially with like a lot of the fatty pork and stuff they try to feed us with like the samgyeopsal where it's got like layers. Samgyeopsal, literally sam is the 3. So there's like 3 layers to it. There's meat, fat, and skin.
Yeah.
And then if that's not served really like crispy right off the grill because it's served at the school lunch, it's like...
I don't eat pork, but I've never thought that particular meal looked all that appetizing, and sometimes
you're not missing nothing. I always take off all the pieces, just eat the meat part. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I feel the same way about eating duck though, because duck is really fatty too.
It's really
and I'm
fatty.
always just like ripping the little fatty pieces off.
Yep. No, thank you. What about you guys? Do you have any like texture issues with food other than meat? You can also include that because I know some people have issues with pears because how mealy they are. I love like the European pears. I love them. I think they're perfect. But some people, I guess, have a mealy texture to it. Let's see. Maybe COVID
in the skin.
In the skin?
Maybe.
Oh, I can see that because it even
it is a little bit
gritty. Yeah. Let's see. A 4th COVID-19 booster vaccine has proven ineffective against Omicron, according to preliminary research from Israel. No one knows anything anymore, so whatever. That was actually in a Korea Times article. It was saying that if you get the booster, I don't know about the 4th booster, but a booster.
Yeah.
It was saying you are 29 times better able to fight off the Omicron. So I don't want Omicron. I don't want any of it. I don't like it. I don't want to deal with it because it's like, it's milder.
Yeah.
COVID. Yeah, but COVID sucks.
Yeah. And you might have,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have migraines aplenty. That's a no. That's a no, thank you.
Right.
And I just tell the students, even if you, assuming we're on campus, like even if you have no other symptoms, you're off campus, banned in quarantine for 2 weeks. Like you still don't want to get it, you know. Let's see. The texture of meat really defines it. Trust me, I know. Why do you know? Are you like the meat goddess? Like, you're just like, oh yes, who was it? Demeter, goddess of the hunt. Like he's here telling us about the meat. Now you guys are saying stuff about bacon. Now you should try the pork belly, the Korean style. It's not cured, so it's not overly salted. It's not smoked, and it's a lot thicker. So people that like bacon usually really love the samgyeopsal, the Korean pork belly, but definitely not going to be as like that crispy texture. I got my first 2 vaccines, but I'm done. I'm not going to be getting my 8th booster in the year 2024. For all the boosters and stuff, as far as I understand, as somebody who's not anybody into biology, anything, as far as I understand, we're really trying to catch up to all of the different variants.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, apparently, I guess you're not as... some of the antibodies kind of stop producing. So there were some people, like my parents got COVID.
Right.
And they got over it. So they thought, oh, therefore I'm totally immune to it now. And they're just not. Like they'll take their blood and test it and they've run out of antibodies.
Right.
So that's one of the other reasons. It's not like another like smallpox vaccine or something that we got in the past.
Right. And I remember them saying something like that back at the beginning. So like here, when we had that first wave with the Shincheonji.
That was that. Thank you, Colt.
Yeah, but but what was it? Oh yeah, the government here was constantly asking people to donate blood plasma because the blood. Or I guess the blood plasma as well had the antibodies in it, but like after a few weeks, they were like, "You don't have any.
You don't have any antibodies anymore, right?"
Yeah.
That was the thing that was scary. So that's why they're asking us to get those boosters. It's not just like for fun, and definitely not to be microchipped.
Right.
I don't think anybody here believes that, but
we have some people in the States who might. So
not just the States.
Oh, well.
I mean, that's Mark of the Beast stuff. I mean, I've seen people worried about... Yeah, have you heard of the Mark of the Beast?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
at first I thought you said Mark of the Bee. I was like, what?
No.
Okay.
No, that's a sting. That's an infection or it's a anaphylactic shock. No, so it's this idea that you have to get... It's either going to be in your right hand or in your forehead that you can't buy or sell anything. And so for a long time... like cult level Christians think that, oh, this new technology that's coming out, that's going to be it. That's going to be the mark of the beast. And so they'll say stuff like, oh, even, scanning your phone, because most people are right-handed. So when they scan their phone with that, what is it, near field kind of
NFTs.
thing, then it's going to be, that's the mark of the beast or something. So some people think, oh, if there's microchips in the vaccine, that's the mark of the beast, and oof.
I mean, even if all that were possible, what would be the point of it?
Right, what's the point?
I mean, most people use some sort of technology anyway.
I feel like if there was like a way to integrate some technology into my hand, I would. I think that would be really cool. Like, oh yeah, beep, I'm done. Go, because we can scan stuff to get through the subway, and I use the subway, I use the bus. Instead of like fumbling with something, I could just beep. That would be way better.
Yeah.
That would be way better.
And here, no matter where you are in the country, like if you have a Samsung phone at least. Samsung, maybe LG as well.
Probably.
But it's really in the type of USIM card that you have, but you can just use that to pay for your subway and bus rides.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Since I have some other cards in here, it won't let me do it. It'll say like you're trying to scan too many things. So I always have to take it out. It's just annoying. Let's see. I think we missed one of the comments. I'm a big fan of reducing meat consumption from every meal to like 1 or 2 a day. Going vegan is fine for some people, but it's too extreme to expect everyone to do it. I think you would have to define extreme, because remember, this is our natural diet for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's also like the poverty diet. So this idea that, oh, everybody's eating meat and dairy and eggs, that's more extreme, I think, than a lot of stuff.
I think the only people it would be extreme for would be people who live like in really cold regions where you
right.
Can't,
That's what it's always about. You know, it's like the same with the anti-vaxxer movement. Like, oh, you can't force us to get vaccines. What about that small percent of the population I don't fit into that people have can't get it? You know, like
well, leave
okay,
them
well,
out of
cool,
it.
leave them out of it. But what about you? Do you have that disease? You
Yeah.
have the disorder? Oh, you don't.
Yeah.
You know. And it's the same idea. Like, oh, what about those people in the Sami people that live in the Arctic Circle? Cool. Are you them? You know? Is that? Oh, what about people on a traditional diet? Is that you? You know, you're eating like Spam and bacon from Costco. That's not really a traditional diet. You know. Let's see. I hate pork belly because of the texture. I always try to trim the fat off because I hate the texture fat. Right. It's got that like squishiness to it.
That is gross. And
what?
I'm not even a texture person.
I know, right?
But when I bite into meat, it's supposed to be firm.
Yeah. Or not, or a little give. I like mine rare, like as rare as possible for beef. What about you?
I like well done.
That's right.
I know a lot of people don't like that, but I'm just like, I get sick very easily.
Sacrilege here.
I'm more about trying to keep myself from dying. So
that's true. I'll do it blue rare. They have the yuke here. I like it raw. Did you ever try that?
I can do yuke. Yeah, when you live.
Oh, because it's not like bloody.
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
And like at least with that, like if it's raw seafood, usually they put it in lime or lemon juice.
Yeah, or they freeze it.
Yeah,
so that definitely helps out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Not being open to multiple boosters doesn't make sense to me. It's like a person complaining to wear a seatbelt every time they drive a car. That is a good comparison.
In that too.
Yeah, because the last seatbelt that I wore does not protect me against this car drive that I'm taking. So that might be we keep going back to seatbelts as the analogy for this.
It's the most basic thing for people to understand.
And it works.
But even then, remember when I sent you that screenshot? I think it was a few months ago, but no, I did send it to you, but I also put it on other social media. And one person was just like, I don't think people should have to wear seatbelts either. And I'm just like, well, I know not to get in the car with you.
I remember, oh my gosh, I think I told you about it a million years ago in Daegu when I was there visiting. And I needed to get somewhere and I couldn't take the bus. I had to get a cab. So I get into the taxi and I start putting the seatbelt on. And the taxi driver was like, oh, you don't need to do that. And I'm like, oh, it's a habit. You know, like my mom was a cop, like whatever. And before I barely even clicked this thing shut, he slams on the gas and we're flying. We almost got into two accidents by the time we got onto the freeway.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me that.
This is you don't worry, you don't need a seatbelt. The most dangerous driver in the world. Like, no, like if you're in my car, I don't start the car until I see that everybody's got their seatbelt on. Like, I'm not risking it. It's a very stupid way to die.
Right.
Like, imagine having to go to my funeral and being like, this is it. This is the way. Like, out of all the things that I've survived in my life,
this is how I go.
That's it. I tell the students that too. Like, think of all the things your grandparents survived, and you're gonna go sneeze on them during Lunar New Year and kill them. This is not any guilt you want to carry. And wow, what a stupid way to die. Like, we don't just zoom. They can transfer the money, you know, for your Lunar New Year money. You can do the bow. You can wear the hanbok. You know, do your thing. You know, traditional clothes, but don't be giving your grandparents Omicron, you know. Let's see. The last flu shot I got was when I was a wee kid, and I haven't had any flu shots since and never got sick. I mean, the flu is not something that you're automatically going to get. I did get the flu once. It was the time I was like, oh, I'll get my shot next week. I'll get it next week. I got it. Mm-hmm. There's such a difference. You ever had the flu versus a cold?
Yeah, and one time I got it I think I was maybe 13. I ended up going deaf in one ear for a few weeks.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
I got it here. I got it at work, or when I was working. And, I mean, a cold sucks. You just can't wait to get home. I couldn't stay awake. I was like typing on my computer and just drifting. Like I felt like I was dying. It was the weirdest. Like I thought, oh, a flu is just a bad cold, but you don't know what that is. It's like, oh, a migraine's just a bad headache. Like, no, you want to die.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a good, no, it's not a good time.
And even if you think it's a bad headache, why would you want to risk that?
Yeah, why would you want that? Yeah.
Like, in my case, when I get headaches, sometimes I can't tell if it's a migraine or not because, like, it feels like my head wants to explode.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, can everyone please stop talking for a moment?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thankfully, my students are very used to the migraine protocol, which is me saying, students, today I have a migraine. Please don't make me repeat anything because I already feel like I have to vomit. And so then they participate extra, which is really helpful.
Yeah.
But I still get overexcited about my lessons, so I still like try to like I'm like half dead, half excited, you know? It's like some weird Tim Burton monstrosity. But it works. Let's see. Most people are right-handed because the church pushed them to be.
I can see that.
Yeah. I think that ended in our parents' generation. I think that was the last time.
Maybe.
Unless they were in Catholic school.
Well, I mean, like, my parents are Muslim, so, like, almost everybody's right-handed anyway. I've become more ambidextrous since living over here.
Okay.
I mean, I still can't write with my left hand, but it's about as strong as my right hand.
Okay.
So.
I don't work in sports arenas or in a hospital. I'm sure I'll be fine. Viruses don't go anywhere, and I ain't getting boosted till the day I die. Yeah, just make sure. I mean, if that's how you feel, at least make sure to wear, you know, the proper mask and you know, sanitize your hands and stuff when you are going out.
Speaking of masks,
yes,
please
wear a mask.
Please wear the mask. Wear the right ones.
The right ones.
So, like, over here, we can get the KNF. No, KN 94.
94, yeah.
Numbers and letters always mess me up. But yeah. I have sent these overseas to my family like a couple of times. Like, I don't think there's any limit at the moment.
Okay.
Like, I sent 100 masks like last year to my mom.
I see.
And then just yesterday I sent 150.
Okay.
Currently, they're not checking how many you're sending, but I don't want to make a habit of doing that.
Yeah.
But if you can, try to get your hands on these. Like, they're fairly thick. Like, you want to wear these in the winter.
Yeah.
If it's too hot to wear it in the summer, I get that. So in that case, there's one that's 80% effective. The 94 just means it's 94% effective. And the KF or KN 80% effective. And
Is that what the numbers are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought they had to do with like the measurement or something.
Well,
like 94% of particles under a certain size or something.
Maybe. But
we're not biologists.
But what I'm saying is that like the ones that say 80. Oh, KD80, that's what it was.
As the lower the number, the lower the efficacy.
Yes, but it's still pretty effective, and it's easier to breathe in the summer. So if these are too hot to wear, then wear a 80 mask. You should be good to go.
Yeah, the cloth ones, they're not great.
As good.
Hand injectable microchips are already a thing. Are they? What do people use them for? Is it for like something like notifying for blood sugar?
Maybe. I remember seeing a commercial where it said you could like buy things using like, whatever little microchip, but
they do have that in Sweden, I think. They do have that now. And then some people took that and they're like, oh, Bill Gates, because computers.
Yeah.
And then vaccines, something or other. But they had nothing to do, like they weren't related. Mm-hmm. I always felt like your SIN is more similar to the mark of the beast. You can't work or file taxes or borrow money without one. I totally understand what you mean by that. But it's got to be here or it's got to be here. That's it, because it's written in the Bible and fundamentalists take it very literally. So let's see. Number of the Beast, Killer Maiden album. So I had to teach about Northern Europe today, and we were doing the history, like the human geography. And I asked the students about like metal, just to say, oh yeah, so like really good death metals from like Norway and Sweden. The students didn't know heavy metal. And I what? How do you not know heavy metal? So we listened to some, and one of the students was really upset. They didn't like it. They're like, this is, and I'm like, wow, you must have caught COVID because you got no taste. So,
oh wow.
It was just terrible. But we listened to like a really old, the Ballad of Roland's Meadow, and it's like from the 1200s, and it's like you could totally tell it's proto metal. Like there's a lot of drums in it. It's like riding into battle and slaughtering our enemies, and we put a bunch of hot ladies on our horses and we ride out, and the sun can't even shine through the blood that fills the air. Like, it's very metal. It's a good time. Let's see. Thick meat should be firm but with a little flexibility. You don't want it floppy. Wow, Christmas. Could you have phrased that in any other way? Die-hard vegans sometimes point to the egregious amount of meat that is culturally accepted, both for health and the environment. I think there's room for reducing meat intake. I agree. And actually, in Korea now, have you seen vegan meat replacements, like at the store?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I have read about it. So, I mean, it sounds like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, some of the bigger stores have it. Of course, you don't need to buy a fancy meat replacement. There's lentils. Yeah. That's cheap as hell, and those grow in really bad soil conditions, so it's a good time.
Speaking of which, I'm going to have to get my mom's like lentil soup recipe.
Yes, please. I would like a Arabic type of recipe.
I think so. Like she makes a whole bunch of stuff and like just kind of like lets the spirit move her and like how many spices and stuff that she puts in. Like so.
Oh yes.
Okay, so you know what jeweled rice is?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So you know that as a Persian dish, right?
Right.
My mom figured out how to make that without even knowing that it was a Persian dish. I'm like, okay.
That's it. There's some the spirit has moved. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Actually, if you want, once we end the stream, I happen to have falafel in my fridge right now. Oh. I was gonna have there was a falafel salad. After my stupid COVID thing, I was in one of those department stores, and so they had all the fancy foods, and there was like a Mediterranean place, and so they also gave some pretty good pita bread with it.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Do Muslims encourage ambidextrousness?
I don't think it's a problem. It's just you want to use your left hand for certain things. Like, so there are things that you don't use your right hand for, mainly when it comes to going to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And this is because most people eat with the right hand. Now, when the religion first started, when you say you were eating with your right hand, you literally were eating with your right hand, picking stuff up. Right. Kind of like how they do in parts of India still.
Oh, yeah. And even that's how I grew up eating.
Yeah. And everything is communal. Mm-hmm. So, like, you see someone reach into the big plate with their left hand, and everyone just kind of backs away, like, where was your hand?
A buddy of mine he was an MP, so he was a military police, and early on with the Iraq invasion, he got sent there to help out with, like, training the Iraqi police, and, like, how to do interrogations properly and stuff. And he said that the first day they had this nice feast with like these big chickens and stuff and this nice feast. And he's like, okay, cool, let's eat. And they're like, yeah, let's eat. And they're like ripping pieces of it and putting it on his plate. And this is something he's never seen. He's like, all right, I'll just go with it. Yeah. Food poisoning. Oh, so that was his first experience. But he thought they were fantastic, fantastic food, fantastic people. Mm-hmm. Some of the wives of the cops would send their husband to work with like an extra lunch to give to him because they're like, oh, you're here alone, have some food. So other than the food poisoning, the first experience, he had a great time there.
Yeah, Iraqi people are pretty cool.
Are N95 and KN95 the same effectiveness? You know what? I'm not sure. N95, go ahead.
I kind of want to say yes, but I think
the
with
K
the K
must be like Korea. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. KN95 are required to pass fit tests. Well, that sounds like a Korea thing. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So I'll put it just in the chat so if you guys want to check it out. But it looks like there is a difference. But overall with like the ability to filter, it seems similar. But yeah, flow rate. But it talks about stuff like leakage. So the N95 doesn't really matter. I think that's because of the fit. Right. So that's helpful. Exhalation resistance, there's some difference in that. Force applied, what do you mean force applied? Like smashing your face against stuff? I'm not sure. But there's a little bit of difference. The reason we say maybe it's Korea, because there's like K-pop, K-drama, K whatever else, K chicken.
Oh yeah, like and so everyone says like KFC
Yeah.
here and they think it's Korea fried chicken. But funny thing is, if you're in Kuwait, they call it Kuwaiti fried chicken.
I love it. I love it. Let's see. I give them some Nightwish. It's metal, but isn't. That's a good thing. I made them listen to Death Clock, and we listened to Mooster Crackish, like the Awaken song, because they were in. Where were they? They were in Denmark, I think, for that. I don't know. Do you ever watch Metalocalypse?
I don't. No, I've never watched it.
It's a good time. Let's see. You need to try Pelicana chicken.
Oh yeah, I know Pelicana.
I was disappointed that Pelicana doesn't serve pelicans.
Well,
I was hoping it was pelican.
Oh, what about Mexicana?
I know. I was just thinking Mexicana should serve. I was hoping for like cilantro. Finally, oh my god! Do you remember when we first came here?
Oh yeah.
And cilantro was like impossible to find.
Yeah.
And we see Mexicana. We're like, oh yes. Yeah. We go there. It's just regular
chicken.
Oh my gosh! It was so disappointing. No, Pelicana should serve pelicans.
That would be interesting.
I'm mad they don't.
That would be interesting. I mean, with all the other stuff that I've seen and tried here, not just here, but like in other parts of Asia too, that would be interesting.
Definitely. Let's see. The key to good lentils is a good meat broth. I'm a big fan of like lamb and mutton. I'm a big fan of those.
My mom would probably do lamb or beef. She would still like leave the fat on it so that you could like get that good. Yeah. But then as everything cooks and everything it simmers, you just scrape the fat off. Scrape the fat off the top of the soup and then...
Yeah, the cat, he wants them. I saw a video of a guy that had a microchip implanted in his arm that was basically his vaccine card, and they can just scan it at the airport. Not sure how accurate or real the video was. Yeah, I have not heard that. The cat. So he's scratching. Let me see. The abomination is defined in Genesis 43:32. Let's just do it. Like I like to go to blb.org. I recommend that as the Bible site. Stands for blueletterbible.org. Genesis, what was it? 43. Just go there first. 43:32. All right. And they set on him for himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for it is an abomination unto the Egyptians. Not sure what this has to do with the mark of the beast. Is segregated dining. So it sounds like segregated dining. You should just start a discussion. You started the discussion of firmness and tenderness. I wasn't the one that brought it up. Yes, but we do know phrasing. Is more than just a line from Archer. Calamari is an exception. I'd prefer it if it was less true. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love calamari here.
It's so good. It's such like the grilled butter squid.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. Well, I like anything, just about anything that they deep fry in Korea.
Yes.
It's like what we do in the South.
Okay.
Yeah, because we deep fry everything.
You do. I remember when I first, because I was stationed in the South, and it was like, oh, I'll just have a side of vegetables are deep fried here too. Oh my god! What about cornbread? Delicious cornbread is also deep fried. What?
Yeah.
I was really surprised about that. The K is Korean. In Canada, the N95s are expensive. 20 for $60. The KN95s are like $2 each. Yeah, they should be. That's the thing. They should be affordable. It's so ridiculous.
I'm surprised that it got that bad in Canada. Like, I know it got that bad in the States because, everyone got to take off their masks, like, prematurely. And, then, what was it? Delta popped up and cases started going back up.
Yep.
So I'm sure some people started panic buying everything up.
Yeah, that's...
Like I said, I just sent some, 150 masks to my family literally just yesterday. It shipped this morning. And,
we definitely have to regulate the purchase of these. Now, Wayne, you mentioned something, and I feel like there's truth to that, but then again, some of the stuff that we feel like it's true, we do have to be careful because sometimes medically it's not. But this idea about the virus themselves, that is not what we're blocking. We're blocking the water droplets. And that's one thing I tried to explain to my students when we had to start wearing the mask, that we're not trying to block the virus. Like, the virus is not exiting our mouth in like a dry, thing.
It's caught in the water droplets. And these do a very good job of stopping the water droplets. There have been many times when I'm walking around outside.
And you're just like making water.
And I'm just like, My mouth is gonna be so messed
Oh,
up.
because it's been so cold lately. So
Yeah.
you walk outside, and I'm like walking a lot to work, and so you're just kind of,
Yeah.
huffing and puffing a bit. And you get in, you just got to take this thing off because it's just like dripping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Yeah.
Free the Krampus. No, we're not releasing the Krampus. Let's see. Your
His
screen
holiday
says
was
links below,
already-
but there are no links below. Oh dear, you're right. There are no links below. I'll have to add them later on. My mom has 11 surgeries on her nose. She wears a plastic cage on her mask to make breathing easier possible. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Bulgogi El Diablo.
That sounds super spicy.
I mean, but I also like the mix of, what would you call this? Koranish? Korean Spanish? Sporian?
Better to ask a Korean Argentinian or a Korean Mexican.
That's it. Hi, Shuggle. I'm glad you're able to make it. I know it's quite late where you are, and Shuggle's also saying hello. Shuggle's from Egypt.
Okay.
So we were just talking about lentil soup.
Salam.
They can see the shadow of Krampus the Great. No, he's outside. He's not allowed in here. Marinated sprouts and kimchi. That's always good. What's the temperature in Korea? We've been bouncing between -15 and +5 Celsius. That's about the same.
Well,
Yeah.
today is pretty
Today
warm
is
because
different. It was
it's
supposed
overcast.
to. Yeah, it was
but,
supposed to snow.
oh God, I don't want to deal with snow.
It just gave me a migraine this morning. Thankfully, it mostly went away. Right now it's about 3 or 4 degrees.
Yeah.
But later on through the week, we're supposed to be getting like -10, -11 as the low. There it is. The humidity is 88%. That's why that body pain.
Yeah.
So I will have to be going back to work soon. My lunch hour is going to be over. So we do want to get a bit of a bite to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for offering to be on. I'm so glad you're able to drop by.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're in the neighborhood again, I'm sure. I hope you guys enjoyed having Hamid on. I think we had a good time. Please guys stay safe, and again, if you're not going to get the booster and stuff, do at least make sure with the mask and the hand washing. Don't be sneezing on people. All right.
Yeah. Someone will definitely punch you in the nose. If
Yeah.
you sneeze on them,
Oh my gosh. I had a student, he took his mask down, he starts doing this, and then he put his mask back on. So as I'm talking to the students, I walked over him with the hand sanitizer, and I was just like, and I go back. One student used to take off his mask to sneeze.
Oh yeah.
That stopped. I said, if I see this again, you're cleaning my whole classroom, and I'm going to cut off your nose and feed it to you. Don't do that. His excuse was he didn't want to get boogers in his mask. Well, bring a second mask. What if you're being boogery?
Yeah.
Like, you nasty. Like, obviously you got something going on,
Or
what are you doing, child?
Like, bring tissue with you. Something. Go out the
Something.
classroom.
Yes, I've got tissues. Do something. But no, this kid. He never did it after I threatened him and made him clean, because I made him clean everything in like his vicinity. Yeah. What the heck? All right, let's see. We'll get one more here. People dislike masks in Australia because of the heat and humidity. Oh, for sure. It's summer right there. Now, sometimes they're saturated in sweat and you could wring them out. Yeah.
I believe it.
Definitely.
But like I said, try to get the KD-AD mask if you can. They're a lot easier to breathe through, and you don't get as much of that, I don't want to say backwash. You just go
condensation. That's the word
Yeah, you don't
we're
get that much
looking for.
condensation.
There's also one that is kind of a cloth mask. So again, it's not the best, but if you're so frustrated with how hot the mask gets that you're inclined to just take it off and go mask free, there is one that they make for the summer that's like really not as bad. So it looks like cloth, but it's almost like a styrofoam sponge texture. Again, we're trying to stop water droplets. This isn't the best. But if you're thinking, all right, I just don't even want to wear a mask and deal with this, that is a better option. Yeah. That's why I sneeze down my shirt when indoor. Yes, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just sneeze in there. That's it.
Down your shirt and your
into your
sleeve.
elbow.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. All right, guys. Len, hello and goodbye. Sorry you've missed this, but you can rewatch the stream if you are bored. All right. Have a great day, guys. See you later. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye. Then we're going to end it.